Why do I always end up being the punching bag of the group? You need to stand up for yourself a little bit. It's not about conflict, but a certain amount of decent respect. Somehow you're projecting that this is okay even when you feel it isn't. Hard to know why without having met you. Don't be a doormat, please. Don't do nice things for them all the time. The question is, do you want to change it? If so, you need to objectively analyze why others think it's okay to tease you. The answer might be painful, but probably lead to a positive change. If you don't roast people back, they'll keep going until you do. Some people see banter as a way to build camaraderie. So in their minds, if you don't stand up for yourself, roast them back, they think you're turning down a sporting battle of wits you're refusing to play with them. They see a stick in the mudish. So they play with you more to try to get you to loosen up, react, join the game. I don't particularly like this way of socializing. I never start it. But as soon as someone else does, you have to parry their roast and exchange like a fencer. People who start it can take a hit and respect people who dish it back to them. So flaming them hard the first time is fair play, fun, what they want. My dad does this. So I had to learn it well or be roasted perpetually at home. Chances are that it happens to you because you allow it to be okay. I know of a guy who is like you, but people's perception changes after he take up MMA. Martial arts. He is a wonderful person, by the way. It's just that he often smiles and is a typical nice guy. You said it yourself. You don't stand up for yourself. You hate conflict. If you hate what they are doing, leaving is a good response. You probably just smile and laugh with them while they roast you. I've been there. People, once they establish that you are somebody to mess with, will mess with you. Telling them it's not cool is standing up for yourself. Do that again and again and they'll learn to respect that. If not, they're assholes. Or maybe you are annoying and that's why they tell you to shut up. Sometimes people get passive-aggressive on someone they do not really like but is part of their circle. I used to have similar experiences. Somehow, I felt that my friends and acquaintances respected me less than the rest. They'd usually patronize me or make jokes that I take personally. And I would just keep agreeing and laugh out of nervousness. And then at the end of the day, I'd ruminate about it and be filled with seething. For me, I realized that I had to stop pretending to think that what they're doing is fine or even funny to me. I think the reason why they were doing it to me was because they thought I enjoyed it and didn't mind it, because I'd usually just smile at them and chuckle nervously to hide my true feelings. Another reason is that most humans like controlling people who would let them. They do this subconsciously and it makes them feel more in control. But I'm not saying it's right. The solution is not easy, but it helps to face your fear of being disliked and rejected. After about 2 years of focusing on myself and taking a break from socialization, I can now step on the brakes when I realize that I'm trying too hard to people please. I tell myself that it's okay to disagree with others even emotionally. And that most people won't take it personally if you don't act the way they want you to. If they do take it personally, then some distance is good. You might want to consider the possibility that you haven't found the right group of friends. A true friend shouldn't treat you like a punching bag. I would try to find new friends and minimize my interactions with the current group if you don't think any change in their behavior is imminent. Some people interact with others in a certain style and may anticipate that in return. But if it's not your speed, then it may mean those are not the people for you. Because you let it happen. Not trying to turn you into a narcissist, but sometimes when people think you're actually doing pretty well then picking on you to take you down a notch. I never saw myself as doing great or having a whole lot of positive qualities I think people pick on me, 'cause I guess I do kind of have my life together pretty well. Or at least compared to people doing it to me. I used to be the, actually, kinda nerd, and that reflected hard on my social interactions. Then I just became cool. IDK. Seriously. Just come up with snappy comebacks if they pick on you, or just assert yourself when you have something to say. People interrupt you because you allow them to. Unfortunately, the advice lots of kids get when growing up is, ignore the bully and they'll eventually leave you alone. And if we are all supposed to follow that, then what ends up happening is we let people treat us however they feel like treating us. Next time someone rudely interrupts you, tell them you weren't done and continue. It'll be uncomfortable, but it seems that everyone you know also knows that you won't take it to an uncomfortable space. Challenge that notion. You'll make mistakes, but that's life. If you reach out of your comfort zone, you'll grow. Best of luck, and remember, you are worthy. Best option is to apply a sense of humor to it too. I always thought I was the group punching bag, but I started paying attention to all the rips, not just the one targeted at me. Turns out it basically goes all ways. It is usually two guys specifically ripping on me a lot though, but I return the favor frequently enough. The interrupting and telling you to shut up lol when you're just talking seems toxic AF though. If you always let them finish their stories as a courtesy, then they should give you that same courtesy. You need to express that this bothers you, and if they don't chill out, then they're not your friends. Purple Heart. It's probably because you look harmless and weak. We had a punching bag friend like this. His name was Jesse. Every time he would talk, we would find a way to make fun of how he was basically an old man in a teenager's body. One time he went so slow over a speed bump he rolled backwards. He was such a good sport about it, but I always wondered as I got into my 20s if it bothered him. Start being unavailable and start hanging around nicer people with manners. I know they will notice when you start to not hang out with them anymore. Just say you're busy or shrug them off. The behavior they showed is rude, and that's not your fault. It's their behavior and you can't control that, so just stay away from them. Also, once you form friendships with another group person, start being assertive. Say when you're not comfortable with what they say, do, and tell them if they're being offensive and rude. If they don't listen, walk away. Social interactions and forming relationships is trial and error. You will have to choose who to allow in your life carefully. My guess is that you smell like prey. You can test this by hanging out with kids and seeing if they make fun of you. Use a very strong perfume. Sorry this is happening to you. I don't think people can give you really good advice without knowing you and see you interact though. If you want to talk, PM me.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.